It's one of those cars that everyone raves about being really, really good, but I don't feel that much towards it.
So we might have to make a trip to Russia.
Dong, 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 dong. Dong, 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 dong. Welcome back to the Cars Rule Everything Around Me podcast, aka Cream. Get the money, dollar bills, y'all. With Will and myself, Edwin, from the channel Top Dead Center on YouTube. Will, this week, is it Cars Rule Everything Around You, or do they ruin everything around you? It's the question we ask at the beginning of every podcast.
Rule.
They rule.
They are ruling.
What's happening?
I just finished an engine build for the first time in my life. I'm saying rule. I'm that meme with the mask. I'm actually...
You're crying.
I'm rule, but I'm ruined.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's great. It looks done. I think it's done.
It does look great. For those of you that haven't seen, Will's painted the block. He's done the hair. It looks fresh.
It looks fresh. You know, I've turned it over and nothing's smashing into each other.
That's all you can ask for.
And after many hours of doing the timing, I got it right, and many YouTube videos. But the proof will be when it goes in a car, sends all the rods out the block.
The proof is in the banging.
Yeah. So maybe in a week, I think I might be doing it this weekend. In a week, it could be big. Yeah. I might just not do the podcast.
If it's just me sitting on the sofa next week, we know what happened with the engine.
But I'm going to stay hopeful. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say rule.
And for a very similar reason, I'm rule as well, because of what's just over there. Just out of shot, and for our audio listeners, there is a BMW, granted, BMW don't turn off yet. I know some of you hate BMW stuff, is an engine for my white E36 saloon. Also, I get all sorts of comments about that car all the time, because we did a video on it on previous channel, Car Throttle, and that video did awfully. Did like 100,000 views. Everyone hated it. And yet everyone always comments, what's happening with the E36? I bought an engine. They said it's an ex-race car engine. It's had lots of port and polishing work done to the tune of £2,000. But it started misfiring at the end of a rally stage. It started, not running nicely. So they checked the spark plugs and there was tips of the spark plugs missing, which is not a good sign with an engine. That's something's chewing up things inside your engine if that's gone on. So they just pulled the engine, put their spare in, and forgot about it, left it on the side. Someone from Hack Engineering, who's a great company who does BMW specialist things, said, do you want this engine? £200. No idea, though, what's wrong with it. So he said, yeah, let's do a video on that. Mystery engine, see what happens. And so far, taking it apart, it looks hopeful. It looks like I might have scored a very expensive engine for £200 that needs minimal work. I am saying this when tomorrow we're going to get it checked, and they might go, it's completely ruined, mate. There's no point. But
by this point, by the time you're listening to this, the video is out. So you can spoil this story all you like. Go and watch it. This could be great. Yeah. Well, you could be rule or ruin.
I could be both. That is actually also the great thing about this podcast, because we're a few weeks behind. I listened to the first one when it went out, and we're talking about Ben's brand new 5 Series. And we're saying, and when we say, it's, you know what? I think it's going to be a great car, Ben. You're going to love it.
We never ask Ben about rule or ruin.
Ben, mate.
Ben,
you tell us, mate. Now, hold on. I'm going to make an assumption here. There's never a week where Ben's not in ruin with cars.
It's just there may have been one,
but not anymore.
But he doesn't remember it.
It depends what car. If it overall, it's a ruin.
Yeah.
Okay. But the Clio, I love that car so much. I drove that on the weekend. Went for a little.
Sorry, enough about your Clio. Tell us about your 5 Series Daily that we talked about.
What happened last podcast? I slipped out of gear again on the motorway.
Okay.
That time was great because it stayed in gear, so I could still drive. Then yesterday on the way to work, just fully lost drive. Then it redlined because the throttle got stuck, so I had to cut across 2 lanes of no in neutral and then go on the hard shoulder.
So it's a good week for Ben. It's a classic. You know what it is? It's classic Ben.
Yeah.
It's liquid Ben.
It's tough to see.
That's a good week.
That's a good week.
But £1,400, guys. It's really good for a car.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. Do you know what, though? I'm here right now.
So you are here.
We got 2 rules and a ruin. We'll take those odds.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
We'll ask Ben more often or maybe we won't. We'll just assume ruin.
Yeah.
If we know there's been a change, we'll check in.
Yeah, we'll
have a look.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Right, so that's us this week, and let us know in the comments what you guys have been ruling or ruining this week with cars. We always look at it. What are we starting with, Will?
Let's have some news.
Okay.
There's not much news, but there's some interesting stuff.
Again, 3 week late news.
3 week late news. We're bringing you the latest news, up to date.
As in, when latest, as in it's the most late.
We're just assuming that we hope you want to hear us talk about old news. I sometimes watch old Top Gear news.
That's actually true. I do that as well. Yeah,
that's good to hear. Sometimes there's news you may have forgotten about.
Yeah,
we're the reminders of the news. Oh, you remember that news from 2 weeks ago?
Everyone, yes.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Well, we do.
Anyway, we're back in 2 years for that news. Alpine, who make A110, which is just kind of a bit meh to me. That I sure it's great. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't interest me.
It's one of those cars that everyone raves about being really, really good, but I don't feel that much towards it, if you see what I mean.
It's a mid-engine sports car in the current age, so it should be cool to me. But
it's a rare thing to find. You know what it is? I actually think it's because it relates too closely to a Cayman, and a Cayman really doesn't do anything for me, unless it's like a GT4. But I think because in my head I go, Cayman, Alpine, same thing, don't care that much.
Well... They've just come out with a mega ultimate special edition, final ever special edition, limited edition, SE edition.
Yep.
The A110R Ultime. The Ultime. How much do you think that costs?
Well, what's different? Because I know you can get some that have like carbon wheels and stuff.
There's only 110. Okay. It's a 345 horsepower.
But still the same engine,
which I think is
cylinder.
Still the same engine.
Okay.
It's French still.
And new, I think these are 60 to 70. I might be misquoting myself, as in like a normal one.
It's a not affordable, but it's not hypercar.
It's a mid-level sports car type, so below your Astons, below your Ferraris, that sort of stuff.
So how much is this?
It's normal one 70. This one 125.
That'll do your deposit.
What?
This is a £276,000.
Excuse me. Do you know what?
This is one last hurrah of French mad stuff. They go, I tell you what, it's going to be £276,000.
You know what it is? You know what that is? They're competing with the Cayman, and they've watched all GT4 RSs and things going, they can charge 400 grand for a Dakar and people will buy it. But let's try the same thing.
But who's buying it?
That's crazy.
Well, that's a lot of money.
Also, if it does anything like what old Alpines did, they're going to be worth £8.50 in 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to get that's a where did they come up with that sum of money?
The thing is, maybe this is like an older way of thinking. I know regulations and how harder to get around that sort of stuff, but in my mind, you could charge that if they had put a V12 in it.
Yeah,
or they'd done something weird. They'd gone. We've done twin turbo V6 or something ridiculous. But to go, it's a bit more power. It's got the same power. Also, 308. I know this is a very 2024 thing to say. 385 horsepower out of a 2-litre turbo.
Less. I think it's 345.
345 horsepower in an age where you can buy an A45 that has 400.
Yeah.
You can't. There's got to be something else, other special bits.
I'm gonna scan through.
I've got a list here of what it has.
Here we go.
So it has more torque. So because of that, new gearbox.
Okay.
That's expensive.
That's 100 grand.
So new gearbox to cope with the increased torque. A bespoke turbocharger.
Whoa. Slap another 100 grand on that, mate.
An Akrapovic exhaust. Is that how you pronounce it?
Akrapovic, I believe, is how you're supposed to say it.
Right? I think it's Akrapovic, isn't it?
Oh. Hey, man.
I don't know.
Get the go.
Actually, something I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let us know.
Olins, don't know what that.
Okay,
Olins
are bread.
Olins adjustable dampers,
275 grand bread,
and high performance braking system from AP Racing. So do you know what it is? It's a A110 that a man has modified.
Yeah,
it's just a garage mod.
These are aftermarket parts that you could. What you know? What that is? It's an FQ. It's an Evo FQ.
Yeah.
Where the UK ones you could get Evo 7. No, you couldn't get a 7. 8s and 9s.
8s and 9s. Yeah, it's UK ones. Yeah.
Which you could get an FQ, which stands for Will.
Fucking quick.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The tail goes that's what they named it. And they were just basically an upgraded with lots of aftermarket-ish bits.
Aftermarket bits. Yeah.
But that wasn't 275 grand.
The FQ400, which you may know from Top Gear, which was the one they put up against the Murcielago that had the like stubby rally mirrors and a few other bits. That was a 400 horsepower warranty
from the dealer
from Mitsubishi here in the UK. Only here.
And that had what? Was that an HKS turbo?
It had a Owen Developments turbo, which if you know like tuning stuff, that's aftermarket turbos. So that's Mitsubishi, cult car company, going to, I think it was Rally Art, then going out to other tuners and other places. One of them had like a piggyback ECU.
Yeah.
So like let's just modify it then and go, we'll put a warranty on it.
Like if it blows up, you can bring it back. But 275 grand. That's outrageous. That's
whatever they're smoking. I would like a piece. Maserati, kind of brand that there's like some cool Maseratis, but they haven't done anything big since like MC12.
Yeah, that's the thing. They tease you. They go, look what we can do. And you go, now I'm on board with you, mate. And they go, diesel Ghibli.
It's a diesel Ghibli.
You're like, come on.
They come out with the Maserati MC Extrema.
Ooh,
£936,000. So it's one of these track only things, though.
Oh, okay. But is it in the vibe of an MC12?
It's I don't know. Do you know what it looks like to me? Were they 308s? The old race cars that were 308 race cars, Ferrari ones.
Yeah,
it looks like that with that.
The rally with the like
no,
wide
like the track ones. It's in Forza.
It's in Forza.
Best I can do. But anyway, it doesn't look as good as an MC12. MC12 looked cool. This, it looks electric, and if I scroll down this page and I find anything about this being electric, I'm going to lose my bloody shit.
Unfortunately, Will, you've broken me because you've now described a car that I can't work out, and it's going to annoy me for the rest of the day.
I know what it is.
It's a Ferrari. It's a group, like a GT4.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay, no, I know that.
No.
Oh.
Hold on. 308.
You can't do this to
race
me, Will.
Car. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, everyone.
So you got to wait. Unfortunately, if Will doesn't do this, I can't pay attention for the rest of the entire podcast.
It might not be a 308. It could be something else.
Will, you can't do this to me, mate.
Because it had more of a kit on it.
What's going on? You talking about a 288 Evolution?
No, less than that.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
He is in the format of a 308 or a 328. If I were to look at him, I would say I could be making this up. Oh, no.
This is.
Tell you what, we'll come back to that.
No,
you'll have to fester on that one.
Oh, please. Ben, if you could do your best. It's in Forza, you say?
It's in Forza.
Ben, it's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari in Forza. What, Forza 6?
Let's just get all Ferraris in Forza 6.
Yep. Now, okay, cool. But while Ben's doing that, we carry on.
Do you know what it could be? It could be a 512. It's that shape. Anyway, this has a V6.
Okay. But that's, I mean, it's not, what's the, from the MC20? Like turned up?
The same 3-litre V6 Net Uno engine as found in the MC20.
I think that's my biggest issue. I think I'm working out as we go. That's my biggest issue is no one's making weird engines anymore.
No.
And again, I get it. It is for reason.
Yeah.
To jump through the hoops that you have to jump through, it costs billions to homologate an engine.
But it can be done.
Yeah.
Aston Martin have done it in the Valkyrie. I don't know how successful that is. I'm not a buyer, but it's cool. Aston Martin just went, hey, Cosworth, cook me up one of them V12s. We're slapping it in this thing, which probably shouldn't be road legal.
I know you're busy with the GMA, but one for us as well. While you're at it.
Cosworth, Jesus Christ.
We've had nothing for years, and now we're making engines for everyone.
But that's what I think I'm missing on all these like limited edition, special run, big hypercar things. Why aren't they putting Bugatti are putting a V16 back in that thing? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Cool. They kind of have to.
Also, props to Lamborghini. You know what? New V10. Let's go. We're going again.
V8.
Is it? Wait, what? Oh, sorry, V8, but it revs very high. It's the
9,500 up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like they could have gone. Audi went. You must use the normal V8 for the Urus.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Just put that V8 in, and they went. Not today, mate. We're going again. We're making you.
That's what I'm thinking of. This is what I'm thinking of. It is a 512.
Here we go. It's a 512. Let me see this.
Aha! I knew it.
Also, just for those listening, we did actually just have to stop for a few minutes so that we could find
512. I thought it was a 512. 512 BB LM.
Ah, okay.
That is what that Maserati reminds me of.
Okay.
There you go. Nice little tangent.
Yeah, apologies. No, but that was actually going to hurt me.
Are you okay now?
I'm better now.
Yeah. No, we legit had to stop because everyone was like, I can't. We just have to continue.
Because all I'm going to be thinking, Will's going to be talking at me, and I'm just going to be going, which?
Brew on this one, it also looks like a Datsun race car. I think it's a 240 or a 2.
I know what you're saying now. They're on board. The neurons
like
were firing.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Neurons are firing. I'm on board with it. So, okay. So
Maserati V6, 700 horsepower, £1 million.
What a time to be alive when you can say those things and go, ugh, add it to the pile.
Yeah,
Also, for me, track only, I instantly lose interest. FXX, I'm going to say it, I wasn't that interested when I was younger.
Really?
Oh, it was cool, but the fact that I could never see one on the road, apart from the one in Ireland that guy made road legal.
The guy that's on YouTube?
Yeah, he's just
YouTube
driving
channel.
around in an FXX. Apart from that, then just not interesting to me because I can't see it.
Fair. Well, on to another story completely unrelated to all of that. Is that I saw a story this morning. Hold on, let me pull this. Hold on.
William, pull that up.
That lots of like stolen or crashed, mostly crashed cars, so like legit crashed cars from the US, are now ending up in Russia.
Oh, interesting.
So we might have to make a trip to Russia.
Oh, well,
one of the first and only pictures of this is a mashed in what looks to be. I don't think it's your average goldy yellow Austin M4. It looks like an individual M4. Yellow M4,
like a Dakar yellow,
but smashed in. It's smashed. And it's saying last year, Georgia imported £3 billion worth of cars.
Wow.
And a lot of them being crash damage stuff.
Now,
so
that's interesting.
You're Matt Armstrong or us.
Head on over. What is actually interesting is whenever I'm bidding on things on Copart, which I do more than I should, you can see where other people are bidding from. And Georgia is really quite cool. I see it pop up quite a lot on most of the nicer cars. So if I'm watching, like an M5 or an M4 or something, I see that quite a lot.
Now, it's a difficult part of the world to get to right now.
Yeah. Although, Georgia, E34 M5, sliding in those streets, that's where your man's from.
What was his name?
Georgie Sezdadev. I butchered that. Don't know how to pronounce it.
He's dead. He's dead.
He's unfortunately dead.
He's dead.
500. I even remember his number plate.
And if you watch the videos, you will know why.
Then you know that guy. Yeah. That's number one.
Would have been a great podcast guest.
Man, good God, imagine the stories that man had.
We can only imagine.
But if you haven't watched, it's very ill-advised, and you really shouldn't do it. He's doing. And if I see a video of that nowadays, I'm like idiots. If I'm seeing people weaving through traffic, clowns. But something about childhood me seeing an E34 yinging through traffic, cool, very cool.
But don't
do it.
But if you do, record it. So that's that. I mean, interesting because they're stealing our jobs.
What the hell? Come on, man.
What's going on?
We got
not our jobs, Americans. Actually.
We got to repatriate some. Sam Crack and Tavares, they're fuming right now.
It does say lots of them are a hybrid and electric ones, though. So
interesting.
Maybe
what are they up to? What are they building out there? What are they putting together?
It's like a movie.
Yeah,
it's like they're just hybrid Priuses are going missing, and then we're going to get this massive Transformers robot.
Yeah, a mega Prius.
That's just made of Priuses. Putin's up to something. Also, it's Georgia, but whatever. Tesla. Elon Musk's back at it again.
Now here's the thing. Well, Ben's shaking his head as well. I'm no fan of Teslas. I think they're shit cars. I'm not particularly a fan of Elon Musk, but also in the news this week, it also dates this, was he caught the rocket booster coming back down.
He did it.
He did it by himself. He's strong as he made a Prius transformer to catch what's cool. No, looking at that, you can't take anything away from him. Granted, it's not like he designed it himself. But,
it is more
his brainchild to be able to do it. Absolutely fair play. You are smart as hell, my man. But good God, stop designing cars. The van thing that they revealed.
Yeah, that's not.
Stop it. The Cybertruck isn't cool. I'm sorry to burst anyone's bubble that thinks it's cool. It's not cool. It's different. It's not cool. Being different's not always good. Being different is not always a good thing. You saw people, imagine, right? Cast your mind back when you're at school. Kids who would walk around who were different, as in they were dressing up different. They were trying to be different. Was that always a good thing? Were they always expressing themselves in a great way? Nah. Sometimes you just want to blend in with the rest of the crowd. And the van thing, it's not good. It's bad.
And also actual iRobot.
Yeah.
Like legit, it's all iRobot. The robot human thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
So you can have this living in your house.
You know the only good thing of to come out of iRobot? The R rate.
Yeah, it's true.
It's where he came in, everyone went, that's pretty neat. And Artie went, let's go, boy.
Most adverts in that film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Didn't notice it when I was a kid. If you watch iRobot now, it's just an advert.
Yeah.
Just one, but it's like Sony.
I was going to say Sony, Audi. Yeah. The phone, is the phone Sony as well?
No doubt there's either a Pepsi or a Coke logo somewhere. I would love to know about that advert. Maybe we'll start doing it. People on YouTube do it.
We are doing it. We're advertising Gran Turismo 4. Guys, you really should go out and buy Gran Turismo 4. If you're an audio listener, we have our TV playing old games behind us.
It's out this week. Well, Forget the news. Sorry, no, not forget the news. Twingo. That's our final piece of news. Twingo is it was already back, but there's a new Twingo.
Twingo, best car. I love Twingos. I like Mark 1 Twingos, their dumb little face, and the new Twingo. It's electric. I don't care. I'm fine with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, I'd like it if it wasn't.
That's what I mean.
But I'm fine with it. It's just a little Twingo. I just want to see one out and about on the streets, looking happy.
Revving the nuts out of a little Twingo.
Again, it would be better. I know. I do agree. It would be nicer to have one that had an engine dinging around. I want to be renting one when I go to France and never shifting gears because I'm just banging off the rev limiter. But I'm just happy seeing them around. Because a Mark 1 Twingo, when you see one, I don't know. Also, my Dutch family are a Dutch. It's actually a crazy one. You wouldn't have thought that.
Spoiler alert.
In Holland, you play a Twingo. If you see a Twingo, you punch it. What was it? Punch buggy here or something?
Punch buggy?
Or yellow car, maybe?
Yellow car, yeah.
Depends whatever region you play.
Or yellow van.
In South Africa, it was punch buggy, which is when you see a beetle. But yeah, Twingo in Holland. So that's ingrained in my head. If you see a Twingo, you're getting hit. Or maybe you're doing some hitting. It's great. So I'm pleased about that.
Yellow Mini.
That's yellow Mini, yeah.
It was yellow car. Yeah, I think you got more punches for a Mini or a van.
What was red lorry, yellow lorry?
Twister.
The singer singing Sunshine?
The lolly.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Do you remember the Twister lollies?
Yeah.
There were the green and red ones. Then they made like that combined. It was like red lorry, yellow lorry, and it twisted and became... I swear that's a thing.
Please comment, because my brain...
I swear that's a thing.
I thought
you will be too young. I think it's a tongue twister.
I thought that was just tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister, but it's part of a Twister advert.
Okay, it's just a tongue twister.
Yeah. I wasn't born.
Twister, tongue twister.
Very good.
On the subject of we were talking about Renaults just before this podcast.
What's going on? It's crazy.
What's happening?
In France, they're like, let's bring back the 5. Let's bring back the Twingo. UK, let's ruin everything. It's not good. It's not good.
What was that name?
A jar?
Austral?
Oh, sorry, Kadjar.
Kadjar's a poor name.
Yeah, Kadjar's
we talked about Vauxhall names in a previous podcast. Maybe we'll make this a recurring thing. We just got to pick on a manufacturer and tear their names
Renault,
apart.
you're done.
I'm not saying I could come up with better names.
I think I could.
But I reckon I'll give it a good go.
I think I could.
And for less money.
Yeah.
They're paying millions. There are boards of people. How many people did Kadjar have to go through?
Oh my god!
For it to go, that's the one, boys.
Also, because it's like an African wind or something.
It's a what?
I know Kadjar is something in Africa, but come on, man. Also, if the bar is that low, I'm walking in fine. You need something right now? It's the Renault door frame. It's better. It was better than a Kadjar. So let's go.
Just go 5.
Nice. Go
4.
for the 6.
What should we do after 5? No, 6. Easy. But so you need to slow down after when you're like triple digits. You probably need to slow down.
Austral,
the Kadjar. What's the other one? The Colio.
Colios.
Shall I pull it up?
Yeah,
pull it up. Sorry, quickly. Kadjar. I've looked it up. It's not African wind. It's Cad is inspired by quad to represent to go anywhere on 4 wheels, and jar means agile.
It means the thing that you put.
So it's 4-wheeled and agile, which just isn't true.
It's just useful. It's just useless. Like just
horrible. Whenever I see that, because it has it in big letters across the back of it, it just makes me angry.
Yeah.
Kadjar.
What makes me the most angry though is the new Megans.
I've seen
the new electric Megans. And do you know what? I don't think it's even the electric thing that I'm most annoyed about on them. It's that they look like that now. Yeah. It's another one that's fallen to the crossover game.
Although Megane has had a couple of evolutions, because the Megane was a coupe.
Also, do you want to know something else? The Megane, the Scenic was technically a Megane. It was called a Renault Megane Scenic.
Oh, because the RX-4 we had. If you do a check on it, it comes up as a Scenic.
Comes back as a Megane. But what I'm saying is Megane was there as just like your little hatchback. And then he had the sporty versions. We had 225s. You had the 300s and things. I'm not going to say the last series of Megane RS, wasn't a fan of how it looked, but my friend Jamie, who let me drive it on the hot hatch shoot that we did, that's an incredible car. Renault at their best doing hot hatches. Meganes are where it's at.
The R20, the first proper Megane sport, good. The R26 and the F1 and R26 F1, sorry, and the R26R, that gen, and then the 250, 265, 275, and then obviously the 300 in the next gen, made the Megane's name.
Yeah. And now
well, maybe that's just to us.
Exactly.
But still, that is what I think. That puts McGann on the map, and then Renault go, nah.
No.
It's almost like some kind of sick punishment. You've done a great job.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's
off to the off to the vets for you.
Right,
you get
time
put
to
down
put on a few pounds.
Yeah. But it's just like Capri, forward with Capri, stop doing it.
I really don't get it. I thought, okay, it's a marketing thing where people go, oh, okay, well, at least the people are talking about it. We get that. But the people who are talking about it are going to be us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like my mum's not going, oh, well, the 4 Capri's back.
You hear about the Capri?
You're joking me.
I better go out and buy one of those.
Back as a bloody 414, is it? How much?
No, I'll get my name on the order.
But it's only going to be us talking about it. And it's only going to, no one who's into a car who would have liked a Capri before is going to look at that and go, do you know what?
Because
I'll
of the
give
name,
it another whiz.
Yeah, because of that name, doesn't matter what it is, I'll buy it.
And
the thing that genuinely annoys me the most is the Puma, because the Puma, it wasn't a great car.
No.
Like it's something that car nerds like us think, oh, cool, Puma. But the fact that it's sold really well, that's what's annoyed me.
I see so many.
Part of the Capri thing, I think, must be that. Them going, let's see if we can get away with rebadging, renaming something new as a Puma, saw how well it sold, and then went, well, that's here we go. We're bringing them all back. Bring the Zephyr back.
Yeah. Where does it... But they've already done it with the Mustang. Also, was saying this earlier, again, before, Mitsubishi were doing this years ago.
They were...
Mitsubishi were ahead of the game.
They were in the game.
Mitsubishi, they're sitting back right now going,
you all laughed. You all laughed at me. Well, look who's laughing now.
That's literally Mitsubishi. We're not saying what you did was right, but they were ahead of the game.
They knew it.
They took what? Eclipse
Cross.
Do they still use Lancer?
I think there is still a Lancer.
There might still be a Lancer.
But also, speaking of that, killing things off.
Yeah.
Fiesta, gone. Dead. Focus, potentially going. I think that's on the way out.
Oh, they're going for like electrics. I don't know.
Can't believe it. Also, it's turned from the news into a rant.
This is just old men now.
Yeah, go, I hate change.
Oh, you bloody electric cars. Yeah, you'll never get 2030.
You were going to say something about what's behind us, which is Gran Turismo 4. So we've got behind us on our set a TV playing old PlayStation games that I bring in. I bring in a PlayStation game for every podcast from now on. And what were you going to say? You were going to say something about...
Was I?
Oh, I don't know. I was going to say something. Gran Turismo 4, there's something very cool. If you're a PC gamer, which to be fair, I'm not, but I've read a lot about it. There is now a thing called Gran Turismo 4 Spec 2, and that is a community done. So people who love Gran Turismo 4 have gone in and remastered the entire game. And I don't just mean graphics. They've updated missions to have better times to set that are more fair. They've added cars that were secret cars into the game. They've added the cars from different regions that you couldn't get. For instance, if you're in Japan and you're in England, they've updated the physics so that you can use wheels on it even better. That's cool. If you're a fan of someone like Gran Turismo, which I massively am, and also the best thing about it is the graphics look how you remember it in your head.
Yeah, they haven't. It's not like when they did that GTA remaster where they made it all cartoony and and that was the aim they were going for. They were like, we didn't want to make it look new. We wanted to make it, CSL.
Yeah, sorry, this is the bad part of having this playing behind us is we are getting distracted. Gran Turismo 4 will automatically play random replays, and what it has just generated for us is an E46 M3 CSL going around the Nürburgring.
I don't think there's another way to get a CSL in a game.
No, yeah.
GT4.
Gran Turismo 4. Peak. But imagine, this is not how it looked in your head. In my head, it was stunning.
Yeah, it was. I remember telling, I talked to my mum about it. Have you seen this game? It's like real.
Yeah.
You actually can't tell the difference. My mum already looked at it and went, Jesus Christ.
What are those polygons over there doing?
What's that square going around that big rectangle? Speaking of Gran Turismo, I thought it would be best for us to rank all of the Need for Speed games.
That makes sense.
We'll get to Gran Turismo, perhaps when Need for Speed is on the screen.
Correct, yeah, that makes sense.
So, a new part of the podcast, if you're new to the podcast, we haven't done this before, we're going to rank some stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's discussions to be had, there's rankings to be made of this. And Need for Speed, gaming-wise, we'll also do cars, obviously. We're not going to do games every week.
No, yeah.
Next week is Skyrim. Perhaps.
With guns, aka Far Cry.
Have you seen the Skyrim mod with RX-7s?
Yes, with the yellow RX-7s.
Anyway, Ben is going to feed us.
That's great to hear. I'm actually quite hungry.
Lovely. Ben is going to feed us some Need for Speeds.
Okay.
We have to do a top 10.
because there's 20 odd, right? Total.
I think we've got 16 or 17. So some of them we're going to have to go 6 or 7 of them. They're just not.
They're
unranked.
They're not in there.
They're not in there. They are deleted from history.
On a desert island, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They're in the sea. They're being eaten.
Now, also, there's probably going to be some that we missed that are before our time. Like one of my earliest memories is playing Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, but we haven't got experience in that. Yeah. So I think it starts. We're saying Hot Pursuit 2 starts.
Hot Pursuit 2 is right. Yeah,
it's where it begins for us at least.
So like PS1, PS2, probably PS2 era,
PS2 era onwards.
Yeah.
Ben, go ahead, hit us.
And also, sorry, the rule is that whatever one Ben will give it to us, we have to give it a spot in the top 10.
It cannot move.
Oof. Okay. So there's tactics involved.
I like it.
Here we go.
Okay. All right, here we go. Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, it's hard off the bat.
8.
Whoa. Hold up a moment.
8. It's not 2.
Now I agree with that. But
something's missing from 8.
Can we compromise on 7? I wanted to go in 6. So let's go 7.
Meet you in the middle.
7.
Deal.
Right,
sold.
Deal. Hold out your hand.
Underground, I don't know if it's because I didn't really play it.
Really? You didn't?
I played, I think, a demo.
Oh, okay.
When demo discs were a thing.
Oh, what a time.
But Underground 2 was my boy.
Underground 2 is the guy.
That's the guy I'm waiting
He is the guy. But Underground 1 still has a very good place in my heart.
Good.
Oh. So 6. We're at 6.
There's something. That's 6.
Lock him in for 6, Ben. 7.
7.
Sorry, so 7.
We agreed at 7.
I tried something there. Trying to get him up one place.
No, we'll agree at 3.
Meet me in the middle at 1. Lock him in at 7.
7.
Number 7, Need for Speed Underground.
David Beckham.
Underground 2.
What we need to do is what is number 1? Because that's our guy. Is it Most Wanted? Is it Underground 2? If I'm honest, I think Underground 2 is above Most Wanted for me.
I'm saying 1.
I will agree with you on 1. I'm in there for 1.
It's a tough one.
It really is hard. But Underground 2, number 1.
Number 1.
There's, you know what it is? It's Top Gear. It's the most influential.
Yeah.
You cannot. It's fast. It's Too Fast, Too Furious.
It's perfectly timed.
It is the timing. Yeah. Everything was perfect. Nothing could beat it.
They may be younger because I see younger people. They talk about Most Wanted 2012.
2012 is their halo.
Best game.
Yeah. See, even Ben. But Ben was born in 2002.
Yep. So whoa, he was 3 when the original Most Wanted come out.
Yeah.
It's,
you know what it is? It's tough to hear. As a lot of you listening might be in the same boat as us. You might be older than us, where you're looking at us and going, Porsche Unleashed and the early Need for Speeds are the ones to be. But
this happens so much.
Ben's young.
Because of the fact that a lot of car stuff is so it's in that such a specific era. So like every 2 days we'll hear someone goes, "Oh, what? You were 1.5 years old when that came out."
But the thing is, imagine that. Ben wasn't in the moment wasn't reveling in the moment of there being a Carrera GT, an SLR McLaren, an Enzo, a Zonda F. When my brain, when I was 4, spent science class, someone's trying to teach me something, I'm just sitting there going, but what would win? Would a Carrera GT be better than an Enzo? What if
Cross never gives my TM3 GTR back?
Yeah. Ben wasn't there for that, which is what we were talking about last podcast, where is a 918, is that what Ben feels to a 918 and that sort of stuff? So it's interesting. It's a time thing. But regardless of that, Underground 2, number 1.
Underground 2, number 1. Next up.
Then we've got original Most Wanted, so 2005 Most Wanted.
2?
I'm going to say 2. I was about to say, I don't really care what you think. I think it's 2.
There's a couple that could battle for that, but when I actually think of the pure memories and happiness I felt playing that game.
Also, clear V6 in a game.
Also, just not a cool story. It's not actually a good story, but in terms of progression,
a great idea. Such a good idea.
Yeah.
Think Forza now. Hey, welcome to the game. Here's 200 million credits in a McLaren F1. Man, what's the point anymore?
I'm starting out in a Punto or a...
Here's a Punto?
Yeah.
Go get your M3 back. You're working towards an unobtainable car. You can only get that car back by doing it.
No, I'm going to. I had a random thought then, but I'm assuming it's coming.
Now, that I've got the same one that I think needs to go in 3, and there's going to be a fight over it.
So we've got 1, 2, and 7 right now. What's next?
Then it's the best one. Most Wanted 2012.
It's difficult because we may have to fill a gap at the end. I would be willing to exclude him.
I would as well. But Ben shaking his head off camera. I think you give him 10 because I can see some guys coming that they need to be in there. But
that's true. Yeah,
I think he should be. He should make the list
to prop up the table.
Yeah,
of most wanted. That's the bare minimum I'm expecting from Need for Speed.
Agreed. It was a good game. It was. What was after there was a Hot Pursuit in 2010. That I don't think he makes it.
Whoa!
I don't think he makes it.
Okay.
You think he's in there?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Because I think 2012 is better than 2010.
Interesting. Next
the thing is, though, is that I think out of them, I call from 2012 onwards, that's the modern Need for Speed.
Agreed.
So I think that is the only one of the modern ones that I think has to be in there.
Whoa. Crazy one. Crazy one. That's a crazy one.
But also, I've played Need for Speed. I've never played any of the old ones, ever. I've played 2012 onwards.
That's why you don't like the new ones.
I've played every new one from.
That's what I mean. You don't like the new ones because you haven't played the old ones.
Yeah, some of the new ones have an essence.
I like the no.
Okay, number 10. We're locking it in.
Sorry,
number 10, most wanted 2012. Next on the list.
See, now we're in tricky situations because we've locked in the ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You got 8 and 9 still, and
we still have to exclude some. At some point, something needs to be excluded.
Yeah,
we've got Hot Pursuit 2010.
See, I'm fine with him not being in there.
Oh, I want to have him at 9.
Oh. But
and partly because, and this is unfair,
we've still got Hot Pursuit 2, we've got Carbon, we've got
Pro Street,
and that's where I think that there might be an issue here.
Okay,
if you want to go at 9, we'll go at 9.
I'm going to qualify it.
Carbon?
Don't even speak to me.
No,
Ben.
this is not for the podcast. Is that one of them?
Yes,
that's not on the list.
Absolutely.
Carbon's in there, no? Okay, put him in there then. Yeah.
What's it called? Need to speak Carbon.
Yeah. Sorry, the way Ben just said that.
This isn't going in the podcast.
As if no, that is going in the podcast. Ben said on his list didn't have Need for Speed Carbon. And I mentioned it and he asked if it should be in there. But the tone in his voice was like it was like
that's what was in my head.
Something that should be in there.
When we were talking about 2, but we'll get to
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, Ben!
I've heard of all of them.
Sorry,
when we get to Carbon, you're getting a lesson.
Yeah, Ben. Oh, dong 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 dong. Belt extract. God. Go listen to that right now. After you listen to this, go listen to that.
Hot Pursuit 2010. There's an argument. Right? Okay. There's an argument to be had here. One of the best trailer promo videos ever.
That is true.
Because if games aren't doing that these days. They got an actual
live
Zonda, and it was an LP640. LP640 liveried up as a police car, chasing each other
with a helicopter
on mountain roads.
With a helicopter.
Now, there is a small error because on the cover of Hot Pursuit, it's not a Murcielago. It's a Reventon.
Yes, yeah, true it is.
Now, I can imagine they probably couldn't get hold of a Reventon.
Will you give us your 1 of 5 card to put police stuff on?
And then chase a Zonda through there. Although so they did get a Zonda, though. So
it's true. Okay, but see, we said we couldn't do this, but if it's allowable by the refs,
it leaves us 5 spots.
I will let you have it on there if we kick off 2012. If we kick off,
I'll take that.
It's locked in. Locked in.
I'll take that.
The ref says no. You've locked it in. The whole point of this is that you don't know because
9.
Okay, 9. Fine. Okay. Will's locked it in.
German
number 9.
People. 9 next.
Hot Pursuit 2.
Now he's not. Now he's my first one. He's my first love.
Yeah.
He popped the cherry. It was a great time to be alive. I was 3 years old playing the game. He's great. I don't think he's at the top. I think he could be 8. He could either be 6 or 8.
I'm saying 6. I'm saying 5. I'm saying
6. Okay, 6. We'll meet in the middle at 6.
It's tough because it's got my favourite car ever on the cover. Also, I have a memory. I don't know if it's I think it is Hot Pursuit 2. They had an arcade game.
Feel like yes.
I feel like yes.
I feel like yes. Also, it had the site where you could go up and look at the police. You'd hit the thing and it'd go.
There was a place.
Go up and look for a.
I stayed as a kid and it had an arcade bit in the clubhouse, and I remember there being a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, you could do a stage.
I'm going to need to do a deep dive.
Also, beginnings of police versus racers.
It's also great. VX220 in that game.
All sorts. CLs, McLaren F1 LMs in there. There's some good cars in there.
It's weird Need for Speed because it's that compared to Underground 2 is totally different.
Oh, so different.
That's more Gumball 3000 Outrun style type stuff.
Gumball 3000 PS2 game. Great game as well. Where did that go then? Okay, so we're looking at
6. I'll take 6.
So we have number 8 position left.
We have left
3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 8.
Oof, Will, it's getting tight.
Pro Street.
For me, he's 3. This is my argument.
Also, never
You're on board.
He's 3.
I agree. Everyone hated it when it came out. Yeah. That is such a good Need for Speed game.
First Need for Speed to ever have a named protagonist, I believe.
Ryan Cooper.
And apparently, I saw this the other day. He was in other games.
Ryan Cooper was in.
What's he doing?
Oh, but wasn't it not car related? I thought there was like any. No, maybe.
No, I think he might be in other Need for. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
But the Pro Street for me, I couldn't understand the hate. I understand that. Okay, before it, you've got open world.
Yeah.
So you're losing out. You're on track. You're choosing races, but as an idea, so good. Also, Escort RS Cosworth game. Mark II Focus ST pre-facelift. The car list, banging. And also the beginning of Auto Sculpt and stuff have big drag wings off the back. Yeah. If you were one of those people that didn't care about Pro Street because you were like, man, everyone says it's bad. Go back and play that now. So good. Also, the graphics hold up.
Yeah, they're pretty. I was like drag racing and doing a burnout to get the right temperature. And I was like, this is, as a kid, this is the perfect simulation of what I want to be doing right now. And also, I remember playing, again, I had the demo of that game.
Okay.
I can't remember, what would that have been, PS3?
No, 2. Still 2. So I got it for Christmas. Yeah. So I've got it. I'll bring it in next week. Next podcast, Pro Street.
I had a demo of that. And the demo was a white, because it was a white E92 M3.
That was the track.
Because it was when that car came out. It was standard.
No, but so there were the Kings, the different Kings.
Yeah.
One of them was an E92, which was the track one on BBS LMs.
And I remember one of the, because they had like a city, almost like the Gran Turismo city track.
There's Tokyo. There was, what was the city track? Trying to remember.
Sort of not city, but like city, but highways in a city. It was like that.
Oh yeah, like the Japanese one.
But I just remember using the E92 M3 because it was when that car came out as well. And especially the ones where you're going through, it was in Nevada or wherever.
I was about to say, if you didn't in Nevada on the speed trap one, where you would go the speed traps, get to the crest of the hill and then hit someone so they roll and total out, we can't be friends.
I think I had to win a couple of the boss ones on that.
You just got to push them off.
On pure luck.
Yeah, push them off and then coast to the finish.
And then hope that they don't catch up with some. Yeah.
So, okay,
that's
number 3. Locking in. Ben, easy. Go play Pro Street.
I've literally never heard of it.
Oh.
Genuinely.
If you'd like to apply for an editing position at TDC, let us know.
With your gaming CV.
have completed mission 14 on Gran Turismo 4. You're in.
We want your Gran Turismo license test results.
So Pro Street 3.
Pro Street 3.
Next up is
Rivals. Out.
Right, your Rivals is out.
I hated that game. It was one of the games
that
I've been away from Need for Speed for a while, and I thought I'm going to come back in. I'm going to try it. I didn't care. Also, F12. I'm not a fan of the F12 that much. So that was on the cover.
I like the F12, and there's something not right with that game.
I played that game the most. I have all of them.
Crazy.
I love that game.
Crazy.
You can play as a policeman.
You can in what's called
in what
2012.
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
In what's called in Hot Pursuit 2, in the newer Hot Pursuit.
The 2010 one.
2010, sorry, not 2012.
Oh yeah, I've never played that.
Oh, okay.
So 2012 is your cut-off.
But that's when I started playing it, yes.
That's when, 2012 was when Ben was 10 years old. That's tough to hear.
That's when he was born.
Right, next one. Rivals out.
Rivals is out. Okay, Undercover.
Out.
Yeah, I liked Undercover. Megane RS in there. Weird car to have. But
M6
and the M6,
coupe,
which is nice, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't think he goes in.
No, it feels like a halfway house game. It was in the middle of games.
I think it was actually a bit of a black mark on Need for Speed's name. Yeah. Like it kind of set the tone of going down.
So just Need for Speed with an actual story.
Yeah.
I want to look like, I guess, Most Wanted, original Most Wanted had a story and it had cutscenes and with real people in it, but it didn't actually matter that much. It was more about racing. Making your way up a blacklist, whereas Undercover had a... Nah.
So, out of interest, we've got 4, 5, and 8 left.
4, 5, and 8.
Yeah.
With the
3 spots. I'm trying to think.
I'm thinking there's like 4 or 5 that need to go in.
Undercover's gone.
Undercover's gone.
Also never
Let's
heard of
rattle
it.
through these.
Heat. Worst.
No, wait.
Heat is the...
He's Miami.
2019.
Heat's not the most recent one. The one before that.
What's the most recent one?
Payback. No.
Payback. Not in there.
No, it's.
Let's knock through these as a few. We can get through these quite quickly. 2015. I don't think is in there.
Oh, yeah, true.
Payback. I don't think is in there.
Crazy.
Heat is the Miami one.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
I did like that.
I think he goes in 8. And then what's the newest one?
What is the newest one?
Unbound.
Oh, I didn't like that.
What was Unbound? No,
that's the one with the weird graphics.
I tried that at someone else's house. I wasn't a fan.
Payback was Heat. Sorry,
the Miami one. Yeah, that had it had a taste of OG Need for Speed, just being weird, a little bit interesting.
Good modifications, a decent car list.
Also, E46 with 18 inch rears all round,
and you could do CSL upgrades.
Perfect.
You could change the color of grills on some BMW.
I like it.
Just some really good attention to detail.
Mate, start your own podcast, mate. You get your own list.
I bought that game for £60 when just after lockdown started. I was like, I'm gonna play this for the entire lockdown. Played it about 2 days, got bored.
Trash game. If you played it for 2 days, that means you heard the song 100 bands 400 times every 10 minutes. Crazy.
Heat can go in 8.
Okay,
so we've got 2 spots left.
We've got 3. What? 4 and 5. Yeah,
4 and 5. Yeah.
Need for Speed Shift.
I really liked Shift.
I did really like Shift, but we've got Carbon still to come. Would you? Okay.
Shift 2, I did like.
No, Shift 2 doesn't need
Shift 1, I really, really liked, but I'd probably eliminate it.
Okay.
If it wasn't a Need for Speed game,
absolutely,
I reckon it would get it would be more memorable.
PGR, if that was PGR 5, I could be on board with that. Right, Ben? No.
Shift 2?
No.
Payback?
No.
It was a great game. Heat, not on there. Oh, we got Heat twice on here.
Yeah.
Underground Rivals.
That's the PSP,
That's the PSP one. It's basically it's like Underground 2, but sort of ported like on a...
Yeah. Also, anything that they did that, like Nitro, they made a Wii game. No,
you're out.
So no.
Then we got Need for Speed World.
See, now you don't know about this. Need for Speed World was a PC game. But here's the best part. The map, what 2 maps would you put together? Imagine your perfect Need for Speed game. You can put two maps together.
I'm taking Most Wanted.
Yeah, and
Underground 2.
Okay, that would be good. But what fits together with Most Wanted? Like around the same time frame, like the maps would fit. Carbon. It's Most Wanted and Carbon's map blended together with all of the car list.
So I've never played it, but I've heard lots about it. I'm willing to allow him a spot.
I don't even think he needs a spot on there, but I just need to rave for a second about it. That is a great game.
Now,
I never had a PC that could play it. So
we've possibly messed up.
Have we got none left?
We're running out. I think there is only one in my head that goes on the list, and we have one left. I mean, we can do a top 9.
Or maybe we have to come back at it. Okay, so let's say no to Need for Speed World.
Need for Speed World's out. I've never played it.
So
then it's Nitro.
No.
He's out.
Okay, and then it's Carbon.
So Carbon's 3.
Pro Street is 3. Currently.
So Carbon's 4. Sorry,
Carbon is 4. 5. We don't have.
No, everything but
5. 5. Who got eliminated?
Someone got deleted.
Surely,
Ref, you're allowing that.
Don't
try and tell me that it's
2015.
No, get out of here, Ben.
But that's got
Ben,
airs
mate.
of like underground street
don't
racing.
Speak to me. Don't speak to me anymore, mate.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know.
Who did we get rid of? Can I get a list of who we got rid of?
No, because I haven't done that like that.
Okay.
We could have.
You got rid of Rivals.
Here's what we're going to do. Number 5 is A Space for Future.
Yeah. Bring your next one.
Bring your next one, Need for
Whatever
Speed.
you bring out, it's the 5th best game you've ever made.
That is the top 9 Need for Speed. To be honest, a completely redundant exercise now. But anyway, let us know what you think. What would you put? Where would you put them? But make sure that you leave a space at number 5 because that's where the next game comes.
Shall I break it down for you? Just quickly go through them all so we have them in order.
Ben, can you break it down?
I'll break it down for you real quick. So we got Most Wanted 2012 in 10th.
Cool. I think Ben was going to say it's number 1. Like, no.
Well, it is number 1, but in your silly list, it's 10. 9, Hot Pursuit.
Yep.
8, Heat.
Perfect.
Underground at 7, Hot Pursuit 2 at 6. Number 5 is the next release.
Is the next Need for Speed. Very nice.
4 is Carbon. 3 is Pro Street. 2 is Most Wanted 2005. 1 is Underground 2.
So I'm happy with that. Also, those first 4, that's the biggest point of contention. That's it. That's the guy.
Little break at 5.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let us know what you want our next tier list to be.
It can be cars or car-related games.
We could also do cars in that.
Yeah, possibly cars.
Like, we might be able to work out some cars and stuff.
We will do vans.
Hey, We want to buy Vans for each other.
We do want Vans.
Not the shoes, not my shoes.
So let us know any other lists you would like us to rank. Small lists, like 10 to 20.
Maybe 10's big. Maybe 10's too big. We'll do 5 from now on. Next section, a section we like to call the forum on our podcast. And this is a point where for people who aren't maybe as big car nerds or as afflicted by cars as we are, you might have questions that you'd love to ask a car person, but as car people, we can be a bit, know-it-all-ish, and you don't really want to because you're embarrassed. This is a place for you to ask those questions with no ridicule, and we will answer them. And we have there's a great comment on one of our recent podcasts that said, that commented on the video, where do I leave a comment for the forum? Right there. In the comments, wherever, on the YouTube video, on the Spotify podcast, you can comment on our Spotify.
Only he could have found the right place to do it.
So feel free to put your questions in because we want to get you guys involved in this. But for maybe the final time, Ben, you are asking a question.
No, I've got one from the audience. You've
got one from the audience?
From last week. Yeah, we've got one from Tubes,
mate. Good to see you. How you doing?
Best to do it twice.
They say, how should you actually service a car? Do you stick to the manufacturer recommendations? Is that overkill? Do you need a major service or is a basic one fine? Should you do it yourself?
Ooh.
I only just got my first car in my mid-20s, an Alfa Giulietta with a worn timing belt.
Good stuff, man.
Worn timing belt.
Good. Congratulations on your first car.
Worn. That's crazy.
Congratulations on your first car. That's cool. Welcome to the gang. Sorry, you're going to hate life.
Down from here.
I think that's a really good question.
Yeah.
To be fair, we run cars in very different ways because you tend to have a higher echelon of car. So you're very religious with your.
Well, I think to me the manufacturer one, most of the time I don't listen to.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Or some cars are ridiculous. When Evos, when they came out new, they used to have like a 5,000 mile oil change interval.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like if you actually ran one for a while, you would be, and actually kept going to get it serviced at Mitsubishi or whoever, you'd be bankrupt quick time.
See, I do that.
But that's what I mean, is I would do on a car that's modified or is highly tuned, even if it's standard, quite highly strung, 5 to 10K.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
But I do have it done by someone else.
Yes. So for me, the M3, my E46 M3 is the only nice car I own. It's the only nice car I've ever owned. So for that car, it's the one car that matters that I can keep some value. Yeah. I don't want to sell it, but God forbid something happens, that car can go and get the bulk of my money back for whatever it needs. So I need to keep that car somewhat nice. So I take it to a specialist every 4 or 5K and have them do it because whoever buys it is going to look at that.
Yeah.
You're big on that. You love service history is a big thing.
If I go and buy a car, amount of times you go and buy a car, sometimes it doesn't matter. Again, this depends on value, the price of the car, like where it sits, compared to others. My Clio, for example, I bought that has 0 service history other than what the previous owner worked on. That's fine because I paid a less price or because I knew what I was getting into, whatever. But when you're buying a car that is meant to have a slightly better service history, or they've said it has a full service history, which a lot of people say, and you're getting, but the last service, here's an eBay receipt. My mate
oil.
did it. That's not service history.
No.
Because you might trust that guy. I don't know who that guy is.
Exactly. We've
seen it before with mechanics working on cars, absolutely butchering things.
Exactly.
Botching things or just not doing things.
Yeah. That's a good rule of thumb anytime you're going to buy a car, as nice as they may be. And I've bought a lot of cars off people I actually really like. And I think, you know what? We could probably be good mates. But they're not your mate in that situation.
No, they're trying to get money out of you.
They want to get rid of a car for some reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they want rid of this car, and you want the car. They want to persuade you to buy the car. They're not your friend. You must look at the car objectively. Because the number one rule for me, and it's the rule I fail on every single time, is don't fall in love with the car before you buy it. You're very good at doing this.
I don't know.
No, it was more often than not, though. You will objectively go, this isn't the car for me now. I'm not a fan.
So I'm quite with a lot of cars. I have been. I get there and I say, "This is nice." I'm sold, but that's also because I've done lots of research beforehand.
But that's what I mean. It's fine if you've done your research and you know right from the photos, from the history you can glean online, which you can glean in the UK at least. You can find out service history. Sorry, the MOT history online. You can work out whether you're probably going to be happy buying that car or not before you go and see it. and they're looking at it, sealing the deal. But I'm bad with it. I'm a car that I hate. John, the SL, which we've talked about before, which is a Mercedes SL with the badge John on the back of it, that is horrible. The car is ruined. It doesn't have an MOT, it doesn't have anything. If I go and look at the car I'm buying it, because I've already pictured the wheels I'm putting on it, I've already looked at when those wheels can arrive. I could have them here next week. Cool, I could go and do the suspension. I'm in. I'm done. I'm every seller's best nightmare.
Yeah.
Best dream.
But so on the I would say, as a kind of rule of thumb across most cars, until you get into specialist high performance stuff, 10,000 miles is probably the most I would do before like an oil change. I think some diesels you might be able to do like 15, but
also it's good practice. Yeah. Just do it regularly, 5-10k miles.
I've got quite a good routine. If you do want to keep up service history and you don't want to keep doing things like an oil change, are very simple. If you learn how to do an oil change, like let's say you do your oil change at the 5,000 mile interval, and then on the 10,000 mile interval, you have it looked at by a mechanic.
Yeah.
Because although a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not having that. Oh no, my car, mate." Yeah. Sometimes, if you have the right mechanic or the right specialist, and it's a car that has things that can go wrong, we have Uvis.
I was about to say
Uvis is our man. Ultimate Velocity. He is BMW man 9. He is the man.
We should explain the story because it's actually quite funny. Yeah. So I, during lockdown, wanted an 8 Series, an old 90s BMW 8 Series. So I decided I'm going to buy one. Couldn't find any for sale. I wanted a project. And one popped up. It was $4,500. And it was being sold by a guy called Uvis, semi-close. We went down to look at it, and he ran a BMW specialist called Ultimate Velocity Official, and spoke to him, and he said, "Look, I'm a middleman. My friend owns this car. I'm selling it on behalf of him." I spoke to him. I said, "Look, I'm a big fan of 8 Series." And he said, "You seem like a really nice guy. Don't buy this car." I said, "What?" And he said, "This is a massive project. You're better off saving your money, going and buying a nicer car. I don't want you to get stuck with this car." And I said, "That's a really nice thing of you to do. I'll take the car because I'm going to work on it." And lo and behold, he was right. Yeah. I'm still working on that car today. So, but from that, and in the deal, I gave him a little bit extra money and said, as just for fuel, because he was like helping me along the way. Yeah. There was no V5. He was like, I'll get in contact with the old owner, XYZ, a genuinely good stand-up guy. And since then, I have taken all my BMWs and have sent all my friends to use them as well, because if you take a car to him within 10 seconds, he's told you everything that's wrong with it.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them are personal opinions, which is what my favorite part. He'll go, "That's a shit color. Your color's horrible. Interior color, that's whack. That's not good." But it's so bluntly true that he'll go, "Well, why haven't you done that? That's a job you need to do."
Yeah.
And you know what you need to do. So every so often, I will take my car to him and he'll look it over and go, "You need to do that soon."
Yeah. Spot something earlier than you might. And again, it's all kind of learning. You might want to go, "Oh, that's failed. I missed that," and you learn it along the way. But if you want a total specialist in a car, sometimes it's worth paying that little bit extra, have someone look at it in between you doing, because oil services are simple.
Yeah.
Things like brakes are simple. Those bits are simple, but there's more to cars.
Absolutely.
If you've got suspension bits loose, and you've got bits of your engine hanging up, whatever, that's what I would suggest starting out with. I would say at the bare minimum, if you want to do any of your own, just learn how to do an oil change, oil and filter. It's not exactly simple on all cars, but for most cars, it's going to take you a couple of hours.
It's doable by yourself.
Yeah.
With no specialist tools, you can get, go down to Halfords and you get an oil filter removal tool. You can do it yourself. And also, there's a YouTube video for every single car's oil change.
Exactly.
Every single one.
Just don't watch anything that we do.
Definitely don't do that. But that's, service history is important for selling it. If it's a car you're going to keep forever,
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. My MX-5, because I know that car will never leave my hands. I don't know that since the day I bought it, I've kept a piece of paperwork for it.
That's really quite tough to hear.
I don't care.
Yeah, that car will go in. You want to know?
I don't care. I know I've done it,
but you want to know?
Nah.
Or you just don't want to know how much you spent.
That's exactly it. I don't want to know how much I've spent on it. Ben,
can I say as well? It's also about the value of the car. Because if you spend every penny you have leasing like a new 3 Series or something, or a 5-year or 3 Series, and it's a 15 grand car, you then don't want to be doing the oil change yourself to save 200 quid.
Agreed.
Because then that car's going to be worth less money.
Yeah.
Whereas at some point, sometimes it's worth just paying. I think you've said it before, Will, that you just pay for a service so it has it in the book. Because
Agreed.
people don't want to listen to, yeah, mate, yeah, did that the other day, didn't I? And
there are so many cars I've looked at where they have a massive gap in history, and either the person has no way of explaining it, or they explain it away and say, actually it's because I didn't, my mate did it actually and he wasn't around and he forgot the stamp, but I did actually do. Yeah. You're not, but you're getting money knocked off.
That's the thing. That. If it doesn't matter how good your story is, I'm making a lower offer because I don't know that. It's not coming from a place of, I could get this guy down on money. It's, I don't know what happened. I'm getting some money off in case.
You then get the other end of that, which is like people that are collecting and storing cars. That GTR I used to have, he used to do about 1,000 miles a year. Some were less than 1,000 miles a year, religiously every year service. Every single year, oil service, transmission service.
Oil's
to
still
me,
golden.
Kind of insane.
Yeah.
Well, A, not using it is insane to me. That just baffles me. But B, what?
Yeah.
You just paid like £600,000-700,000 plus on a service.
£700,000?
£700,000 to service a car that you drove 8 miles last year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a complete fault. Well, not really a false economy because when I saw it, I was like, wow.
There, now you're like,
it's been serviced 37 times, but drive your car, you knobhead.
I think that wraps that up quite nicely.
Yeah,
if
nice.
You felt like that answered your question, enjoy and leave some more questions for us next week. They can be practical like that. They can be cultural about why car people are the way that we are. Let us know. Moving swiftly on to the final section, because this is going on a bit. That Need for Speed really took it out of us.
Next week, top 2.
Top 2 numbers. Number 1 will shock you. The next thing we like to do is that Will and I are very similar, as you might have gathered, but also very different. So we argue a lot, as Ben will attest. It's all that we do, really. We like to pick a topic and have a nice little argument to end. Will, you
My
have something?
argument today, and we've discussed this but never fully fledged argued about it.
Uh-oh, what is it?
I believe there is not a single convertible version that I would buy. And now, there's a couple of qualifying, there's a couple of T's and C's here.
Okay, but
I'm ruling out supercars.
That's a crazy one. That's an interesting one.
Just because I want to.
Because you started by saying there's not a single car. But there are quite a few cars.
There are some.
Okay,
so I'm ruling out supercars.
Why supercars?
What I'm talking about is things like M3 convertibles. I'm talking about E-class.
But why supercars gone?
Because they look better. They suit. But
do you not still believe that the coupe is better than the convertible?
Yes, 9 times out of 10. Do you know what? Oh no, it's tough though.
Ooh, because see, for me, something like a
Zonda.
Yeah, that's better.
I'm having it as a
so there we go. Thanks for listening to the argument, Will.
But I just want to rule out supercars.
Okay,
just for argument's sake. I'm talking,
fine.
It has to have an equivalent.
I'll allow you that.
It has to have an equivalent.
Now, when we had this argument before, there was another caveat. That's old classic cars.
Yeah,
there's like an E-Type, an E-Type Vert, way better than a coupe. Like the older Maseratis and some of the Ferraris. Ferrari 250 short wheelbase California.
An E-Type, way better as a.
Is
that what you said?
I said an E-Type and a Ferrari. And you went, you know what? Actually, also an E-Type.
Yeah. What about the California?
Also, maybe even a Jaguar E-Type.
Also, why we argue because we don't listen to each other. So yeah, hit me.
Okay. Okay. So normal cars.
Normal cars. You can rule out any M car.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That's pretty fair. You know what? In most cases, I do agree with you that they are usually better as a coupe than they are as a convertible. But I think there are some. Now, in the argument we had before, I said to you, "What about the MX-5?" Because they actually did make an MX-5 coupe in the second generation in Japan. It's a mass-produced car. They made a coupe MX-5, and it looks horrible.
I disagree.
You think that looks better? Are you joking me?
It'll look better, and I bet it drives better.
Ooh, yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. But what I'm saying, I don't think it's
also number one qualifying point here.
Hold on, sorry. There's a trailer very slowly moving outside.
There's a small mouse being deflated outside. Number one, not having an MX-5.
That's not the point here. My point here is
if you gave me the choice out of those two,
you're choosing the coupe.
I'm choosing the coupe.
Crazy deals.
It's different.
But you don't like that. That's not something you care for.
But in that one, I would.
Oh, it's crazy. So your opinion has changed.
No, but only in that one.
Okay.
You're telling me I'm buying an MX-5 convertible.
You're buying an MX-5.
Everyone else.
You're buying an MX-5. You have to.
I have to. I'm buying the coupe.
Crazy to hear.
Next.
Okay, fine. An MX No, that doesn't work. That's not your argument. I was going to say an ND, a Vert versus a Targa, but that's not your argument at all. Okay. Now I'm going to use this because this is your own. I'm using your own information against you.
Oh no,
it was an F-Type.
Yeah, well, it was
because yesterday we were talking, and you said I actually quite like a V8 F-Type. I think I'd have a convertible.
I suddenly had a realization as I said it. I was like, oh my god,
I've done it.
But I still don't think, given the choice. This isn't to say I wouldn't own a convertible. It's to say that given the choice,
you would always choose the coupe.
I would 9.999 times out of 10.
But the F-Type is an exception.
The F-Type is quite nice. It kind of falls into almost E-Type territory.
Yeah,
it looks very good.
It's a car that is built to be nicer, and that's also the reason the supercars are mostly out of the argument is because supercars tend to be designed to be convertibles. Because the crux of the argument that I agree with you on is when people make convertible versions of normal cars, it doesn't look good.
Exactly. Didn't the F-Type launch as a vert?
Yes, I think it might have been the first one.
And then the coupe, there you go. Terms and conditions apply. Excluding all cars that were launched as convertibles and then got hard tops.
All right, mate, Renault Wind.
No, there's no equivalent.
No, there's no.
Yeah, see, I can't be defeated apart from supercars and old cars.
Yeah. No, you know what? In most aspects of this argument, I do have to concede. But hello, mate. Just a fly next to my head. There's something I had you on before, and I can't remember what it was. And that's annoying me.
There's no way.
Hold on, let me access my mind palace.
Astons and stuff. Like DB9 Volante, no thanks. V8 Vantage, no thanks.
Now hold on. That was one of my things originally when we had this argument. A DB9, which is not meant to be.
Yeah, but look, how much worse does a Volante look than a coupe?
I don't think it does.
What the bloody hell?
Because the purpose is it's the reason that an SL is a vert.
No, but a DB9 is one of the best looking cars ever.
I don't think I agree with that anymore.
That's a crazy one, and that's an argument for another day.
Because they're you know what they are? It's just an XK. They're just an old man car.
Whoa!
A DB9, a DBS, different gravy. That is one of my favorite cars of all time. No,
DBS exactly.
DBS
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You don't even need to start. But a DB9, it's just an old man's car.
Nah, they look good, and I reckon that they are at a period right now that you don't like them. They're at a period right now where no one likes them because they're really old man. They are a bit XK8. They're a bit...
but I still feel that towards DB7s.
Yeah, but... I reckon they will both get to an age, DB7s and DB9s, where people will go, bloody hell.
That's great to see one of those around.
Bloody pretty car there, weren't they? Forgetting that there was a 20-year period when no one cared about them.
Maybe that's true. I don't know.
V12, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah. Fine. Okay, all right.
But I can't... There's nothing.
There's going to be lots of comments of people being like, but the Focus CC looks better than a Focus. It's not.
When has there ever been I'm getting angry. When has there ever been, like, they take a car and go, we're going to make it the Micra. When does it not get worse? There's less room in the back, probably.
Yeah.
The people that sit in the back look ridiculous.
Well, yesterday
that's insane.
So a quick ending to this. I'll make this short, but it's quite funny. So my dad, after seeing on our YouTube channel, we built a 911. He's a big fan of old 911s, and he saw us rebuild it and thought, wow, if these idiots can do it, surely I can. So he went out on Copart and bought, I think it was one of the cheap, it was a little bit more expensive. I think it was $6,000.
Yeah.
It was a structurally damaged 997 911 Vert Tiptronic. The worst 911 available. Like, you couldn't get a worse spec. Silver as well. Just not nice. But to be fair to him, he rebuilt it and it works, and it had an MOT and it's fine. And yesterday, as I was on the way to unit, he said, give it a run, please, because I haven't driven it for a few weeks. So can you take it to work? Fine, cool, no worries. Now, Ben, behind the camera, was like, I love 997s. They're so good. I said, all right, Ben, for lunch, mate, you're driving. You drive the 997. But there is an issue here. There's three of us.
Yeah.
And a 997 has back seats, but not really.
Utterly ridiculous.
So on the way to lunch, if you were local to the Reading area, you would have seen a convertible 911 with the roof down, with Ben driving, me in the passenger seat, and Will in the back. I'd say maybe
elevated,
maybe a foot above the windscreen.
That's what no one has ever looked good in the back of a convertible. I'll just ask JFK. No one has ever looked good in the back of a convertible. Have you ever seen people in the back of an Evoque convertible?
That's wild. That's
absolute
also,
sniper's dream.
If you're a man there as well, hand back your card.
Nah, you're done.
Can you please, though, the reason this whole debate started is you said you likened anyone in a convertible to a certain person from a certain movie. And it's, please imagine this in your brain because it is perfectly true.
This may need a picture in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, Hot Fuzz. I don't remember his name, but there's a man who drives a Saab convertible.
Ben, it's not Saab. It's not
Martin Blower.
Martin Blower's in the Jag.
Yeah.
He's the man that does the. He's on screen with Eve Draper. And the kiss was the only convincing part of acting I saw in the last 2 hours. Sorry, carry on.
It's a Saab convertible. It's him. That's what. If you were in a convertible, no matter what, I don't care how you've dressed.
But paint the picture. How is he dressed?
He's got glasses.
He's got some ridiculous
kind
of Steve Merchant.
He's got a stupid hair. He's got a stupid hair.
Flowy hair.
He's got flowy, stupid hair. He probably wears hats.
He's wearing was it a polo, but with a jumper tied around?
Do you know what he is? It's punchable. Punchable. You are as a convertible owner, you just look. That's my vibe with That is my problem with convertibles. I look at them in there.
Is it because you wish you were there?
No. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Now this is an actual true thing because Will not drive my Beat.
I don't.
He hates it.
Being roofed down, I feel so innocent.
You actually don't like because of what the image it portrays you as?
Yes.
Crazy. You let other people tell you how to live?
Yes.
Crazy.
Because I look at them and I go, why? I don't want to listen to your music. I don't want to see your interior. I don't want to see you freely picking your nose with the roof down.
That's why
I don't want to see
tints.
your messed up haircut. Yeah.
That's why I
want to be away from everyone. Don't look at me.
Okay, but can we talk about your dad's car?
Yeah, no. He's done.
No, not that one. The other one.
Oh, the 6. Yeah,
because that is a. Can we talk? Yeah,
the 600 LT. Yeah.
So your dad has a McLaren 600 LT. So that is a Spider, but the track, kind of the angry one.
But with a car like that, again, this is the supercars. They don't ever change the design too much.
No, but I'm talking about being what it's like being inside of it. Do you still feel that same way when the roof's down in that car? Do you still feel those same things?
Yes,
you do.
But I think you'd feel like that in any supercar, whether the roof is down or not.
Agreed. But what I'm asking is if that changes it at all for you.
Ever so slightly, yes.
Okay, interesting. Because you're like, I'm cool.
Because it's not the full roof. You know, it's almost Target.
Yeah, okay.
It's like having the sunroof down. I don't look at people who've got their sunroof back and go, you stupid. You. Who do you think you are with your sunroof? You can pull that whole thing. Is that a retractable panoramic sunroof you've got there? Not the same.
But so Targa's allowed for you?
Oh, I still will have one of those.
Okay, so this argument varied 4 different ways in that time, and we haven't reached a conclusion on any of them.
Nope.
I think that's a good place to end. Yep. As always, is with knowing you guys are no wiser to who is winning that argument. Ben, you've got the name.
Just a quick one. It was Martin Blower in the Saab, and it's Simon Skinner.
Mr. Skinner, to the manager's office, please.
Yes.
Sorry if you haven't watched Hot Fuzz, go and watch it. It's a very good film.
Best film.
Right, we'll see you next week on the next episode of the Cars Rule Everything Around Me podcast. Thank you for listening, and leave your comments down below. Cash, Cream, get the money. $1 bill. I did forget. Bye.